Hey man, stay safe world. You already know what's going on. So we got to talk about this situation with Drakeo the Ruler, man. So after Draco's untimely death this December, his family's basically going and they're doing a $20 million lawsuit against the promoters and basically everyone involved in the killing. But before we get into that situation, man, I'm gonna need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, and let's run this up, man. So let's get into it.
Park and featured several big names, including Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and YG.
And that fence is the outside. That's the public right there. People are coming in. They're able to corner Drakeo, and again, it's approximately 40 to 60 people were able to get into this area.
Attorneys claim Drakeo had no security and wasn't allowed to bring his own.
And this was a targeted assassination. He was killed by these people, and he was the focus of it.
The family plans to sue the companies behind the event.
So, Drakeo the Ruler was tragically stabbed in a brawl that happened backstage at the Once Upon a Time in LA festival, where approximately at like 9-10 p.m. a whole bunch of people apparently rushed the backstage wearing red. No one was able to identify who actually did this. It's not quite sure how exactly they were able to slip past security. Many people were actually saying that it had to do with something with YG allegedly like letting these people get in and letting them like sort of just get past security, or just security in general was favoring basically this group of people. And it was a venue that was pretty like not well secured whatsoever. Actually in the video you could see that the fence was the general population, and apparently people were getting through the fence and cornering them behind the fence, and then I guess attacked them after the fence thing happened. There's videos of it going around. Basically Drakeo was in the front line of it. In the midst of the fighting, he didn't back away from it, while the rest of his people basically were backing away trying to survive. You know, they were trying to just get home, but Drakeo was just in the front of it going all out. Then someone basically snuck him with a knife, and it's being said, at least in the conference, that it was an assassination. Like they basically assassinated him because he was a pretty important person and he was worth a lot of money and stuff, and he wasn't at his peak. He was just now, people were just sort of realizing that he was taking over the West Coast. I mean, like, he's been about it for a minute now, but like it seemed like at this moment was kind of like a pivotal moment in his career. He's getting booked for like Rolling Loud and shit like that, and he had just beat like how many, like 2 murder charges, he beat the death penalty also. So it's just crazy, man. But basically a lack of security, according to the family attorney and the family, a lack of security allowed dozens of men to ambush rapper Drakeo the Ruler, who was beaten and stabbed to death backstage at a Los Angeles music festival, his family and their lawyers said Thursday. Drakeo, an acclaimed West Coast rapper whose legal name is Darrell Caldwell, was stabbed to death on December 18th while he was backstage waiting to go on at Once Upon a Time in LA. How did these people get through? How did these people get access backstage to an artist? Tiana Purdue, the mother of Caldwell's 5-year-old son, said at the news conference announcing a planned wrongful death lawsuit. Where was anyone? Where was anyone to help him? Basically, video played at the news conference of the moments leading up to the stabbing, which his attorneys called a targeted assassination. It showed a group of men in red pouring into a fenced-off backstage area and attacking Caldwell and his small entourage. No security guards or police officers can be seen. Caldwell, who had knife wounds on his neck, died hours later at a hospital, authorities said. Caldwell was lynched by up to 40 to 60 people, said attorney James Bryant. This would have never happened if these promoters had the proper security protocol. The world lost an amazing artist, a beautiful human being, and a father. The attorney said that on Monday they will file a wrongful death and negligence lawsuit against the festival's promoters, which include Live Nation and Bobby D Presents. The promoters did not directly address the allegations in response, saying in a statement, Once Upon a Time in LA joins Drakeo's families, friends, and fans in grieving his loss. The festival has continued to support local authorities in their investigation as they pursue the facts. And on top of this, don't forget, Live Nation was the same people that didn't have security in the whole situation that happened in Astroworld. So this is like a common trend. Like, these niggas at Live Nation basically are like the same people that were responsible for 10 people dying, and they basically had a whole full-scale event without even having the right amount of security. It's just like, at this point, it seems like they're just trying to cut corners, trying to stop like ways that are expensive and try to cut those like expenses down so like they don't have to pay the full price or something like that. But I wouldn't even fucking like trust any place that's called Bobby D Presents. I wouldn't trust any promoter named Bobby D. No cap, especially a venue that's out in South Central, like the Bank of California Stadium or whatever, the Exposition Park Fairgrounds where this shit was held. Like, I would not trust going over there. But like, honestly, he probably thought it was like the same. He just performed at Rolling Loud, so he probably thought that it was the same type of deal as Rolling Loud. Like, it was gonna be well secured and stuff. It really wasn't, man. It was a free for all. How are you gonna have like large scale artists at this type of level just be freely walking around doing whatever they want, bringing people in, security and everything, man? It's just like so wrong. How does that happen? Maybe if it was someplace else like a studio or something, I'd understand, but it's like, it's at a giant festival, and on top of that they have no leads and no publicly announced people that they think had anything to do with it. It's crazy, man. But police said they're investigating Caldwell's killing, but no arrests have been made or suspects publicly named in the 5 weeks since. Yeah, so it's just sad. And it's like, I can't even believe that they even like allowed these people in at the time and allowed this large group of people in. Nobody has really said anything coming out against it, but all we know is like this family is gonna like do a wrongful death and negligence lawsuit for 20 million, which makes a lot of sense, as they should be doing. You know, like, it's fucking $20 million, which is not going to get back a life, but at the end of the day, it will make these companies think twice about booking a whole festival with like big ass artists, especially booking two people that have like known problems and shit. Like, these dudes did like no research whatsoever. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, booking these two artists, that's like booking like NBA Youngboy and like fucking what's his face, like Annalie Choppa or something. Like, imagine booking them in the same show right next to each other. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, it just shows that these promoters don't give a fuck. They're just going for their bottom line. Like, they only care about the profit over the person, man. But what do y'all think? Do you think it was the promoter's fault, or you think it was Draco's fault for even going in the first place? Who's ultimately to blame? And is 40 or 20 million the right amount for this, or you think it should be more? You think it should be less? You think they're gonna settle, man? But hey, it's just interesting that they haven't said any statement about it, and this is like the generic response: we're assisting law enforcement or whatever in the investigation. Nigga, there hasn't even been no investigation. It's like a cold case right now, man. They haven't announced anything. But once to get more updates on the situation, man, I'm gonna keep y'all posted, and we'll know more as it keeps going and more as like more stuff is basically released. But until then, man, stay safe out here. Real stay safe shit. You already know what's going on. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's run this up. Peace.